Before Angelina Jolie set the world on fire by kissing another man that was off limits, she was kissing her brother at the 2000s Oscars. Dressed in Monica Adams' aspirational black with polyester Party City wig to match, she and her brother certainly were a sight for sore eyes, only made worse or better for some when they locked lips at the Vanity Fair Oscars Afterparty. It's a family affair. But before all that happened and all the crazy things she did afterwards, and before Angelina truly became a breakout star with her performance in Girl Interrupted, she was just like any other young starlet, though certainly one with a bit of edge and flair. To quote Elaine Lui, the founder of the iconic 2000s gossip site Lainey Gossip, Angelina was disruptive and she didn't look like the girl next door. She intimidated people with her beauty. Before the expression, no f***s to give, was coined, she was the epitome of it. And it certainly wasn't out of coincidence or just because of her looks either. Right from the moment the public first set eyes on Angelina, she was the bad girl. She was the wild child, playing Gia Karangi, the first ever supermodel, in the movie about her troubled, drug-ridden life. A story, apparently, that Angelina felt her own life had a lot of similarities with, telling Esquire magazine in the Desire issue, "A lot of people wanted me to be quiet during Gia, to not say if I'd ever done any drugs or had ever slept with any woman, which to me was being totally hypocritical. If I had, and if I could identify with the story that much more, and really saw a beautiful thing in another woman, so I thought it was nice to share what I had experienced, because I thought it was great. I didn't see why it was so bad, and because it's, I don't know, it's honest." Although Angelina still hadn't gone through her wild relationships with Billy Bob and Brad and told the whole world how she liked knives in the bedroom, she was still letting people know about her wild side through her work. And when people saw her high-strung performance in Girl Interrupted, which was supposed to be Winona Ryder's Oscar-winning vehicle, public interest in Angelina's personal life skyrocketed as people wanted to find out who was the woman behind the crazy girl on screen. She does her interview with Esquire magazine in the lead-up to her Oscar campaign, also revealing that the Rolling Stone magazine cover that she had shot recently was not the kind of image she wanted to give off. The photographer shooting her like that because that's the idea they had of her from Gia. And then the 2000 Oscars roll up on the 26th of March. Tensions are high and there is a lot of interest on Angelina and whether she will win her Oscar tonight. However, to say that the 2000 Oscars was only special because of Angelina's kiss would be a massive understatement, as before Angelina's magnificent act of incest, you had the South Park creators turning up to the event in Gwyneth Paltrow and Jennifer Lopez inspired gowns, high on LSD. 55 of the Oscars that were going to be presented that night stolen during transport, as well as the many show-stopping performances, which included a South Park song performed by Robin Williams and a tribute melody sung by Garth Brooks, Ray Charles, Queen Latifah, Dionne Warwick, Faith Hill and Isaac Hayes. Then Angelina Jolie took to the stage and had her first big moment of the night with her Oscar acceptance speech that went, "I'm just so in love with my brother. He just held me and said he loved me. Jamie, I have nothing without you. You're the strongest, most amazing man I've ever known and I love you," while her brother cried in the audience. That alone freaked some people out, with Melissa Rivers, who co-hosted E's Live from the red carpet that night, saying, "It was a moment that people hadn't seen at the Oscars, a blatantly sexual moment. Here are these two beautiful people who literally looked completely different than anyone in the sea of glam and beauty. They were glam and beauty in a completely dark, very way." Angelina takes her Oscar, goes off to the Vanity Fair Oscars Afterparty with her brother, and that is where the kiss that launched 1,000 headlines happens. Jonathan Becker, a photographer who took one of the many pictures of the kiss, has said, "I do remember some tension at the party. I think she was kissing her brother. It was all pretty wild. I probably took a picture of it." Editor's note, he did. I mean, they do a lot of weird things in Hollywood. It's not a debutante ball, and it was even better for the media. As soon as the pictures were sent across the internet, E! Online placed a poll on its website with the question, "Do you think Angelina and her brother are doing it?" Fan sites went wild. What is that with Angelina and her brother? They seem unnaturally close. Think pieces were released about the morality of incest. SNL had a sketch depicting Angelina and her brother's love child. An anonymous source shared in the New York Observer that even their father John Voight, who was at the party, seemed to be a little unnerved by their closeness. But what everyone was waiting for was to hear what the lady of the night thought of the kiss herself, and luckily a reporter asked her on the red carpet after the show, "Can you explain the nature of your closeness to your brother?" "Oh god, well, I don't know if it's divorced families or what it is, but he and I were each other's everything, always, and we've been best friends. He's always been my strongest support. He's the sweetest human being I know. He's a good person, and he's just given me so much love and taken care of me, and it makes my life great." She also added a week later in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, "My parents really loved that moment, and that's what will always matter." The high cheekbone, big lip pair would further elaborate on how they felt on the controversy their kiss created in an interview with People magazine in 2004, saying it wasn't some odd open-mouth kiss. It was disappointing that something so beautiful and pure could be turned into a circus, Jolie explained, with Haven, her brother, adding, "It was an amazing moment, yet it was totally misconstrued." There are two things that are very important that most people miss about the kiss. One is that on the day Angelina and her brother went to the Oscars, they were feeling closer than ever because of a traumatic event that had happened that day. A friend later saying, "The day she kissed Jamie at the Oscars, it was the first day Marceline was treated for cancer. They left the hospital together and got ready together. Nobody in the world knew that they spent a day in the hospital. It was like, look where we're at now." But the world saw something celestial. Angelina and her brothers had a very tight relationship with each other and their mother. As well as that, what's also interesting is that the pair had already kissed mouth on mouth at the Golden Globes earlier that year, but that never made as many headlines as the Oscars kiss did. James, Angelina's brother, would give the last word on the kiss in 2007, saying, "I did not give Angie a French kiss. It was something simple and lovely. She was about to go off to Mexico to finish filming Original Sin with Antonio Banderas. I congratulated her on the Oscar win and gave her a quick kiss on the lips. It was snapped and became a big thing." Looking back on the kiss, it's just another iconic event that adds to the dramatic lore of the wild child turned saint, Angelina Jolie. Throughout the next few years, she would rack scandal after scandal, marrying this man and cheating with that one, playing with knives and taking drugs. In the words of Matt James, founder of Ort's blog, Pop Culture died in 2009 for Bustle magazine, "You have two distinct Angelina Jolies. You have the wild child Angelina, who kissed her brother and would later be with Billy Bob Thornton. Then you have Saint Angie, who's traveling the world and taking pictures with refugees. I don't think you can have one without another. We love that character development, we love that growth. If she was always the good girl, we wouldn't be interested in her. Do you think Angie is hot for brother? Do you think Angelina looks good as a man? Let me know in the comments down below, like the video, and subscribe if you're new."
Then she had to go live with her brother, which was cool because they got along really well. Really, really well.
When you meet friends